It is the moment we have all been waiting for. For days, the Aso Rock Villa was silent. The judges had spoken, the lawyers had screamed, and the streets of the southeast were holding their breath. But the president, not a word. Until now. The headline you saw is not a rumor. The presidency has finally broken its silence on the life imprisonment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the message they sent is not what many people were praying for. If you were expecting a fatherly speech about reconciliation, you might need to sit down for this one. Welcome to this special broadcast. Today, Tuesday, November 25, 2025, we are unpacking the explosive news statement from the presidency that has drawn a battle line in the sand. We are talking about the clash between the pardon seekers in the House of Representatives and the law and order generals in the villa. Let's get straight to the gist. Part 1. The presidency speaks, the Nwabufo bombshell. While President Tinubu himself has not stood behind the podium, his office has spoken loud and clear through his senior special assistant on public engagement, Fredrick Nwabufo. In a statement that has set social media on fire, Nwabufo warned the Southeast against what he called romanticizing criminals. Let that phrase sink in. While millions are crying for mercy, the presidency is saying, stop treating a convict like a hero. Nwabufo said that hanging the peace of the Southeast on one convict is reductive. He reminded everyone of the tale of blood, pain, and loss that IPOB's violence brought to the region. He argued that nations thrive on crime and punishment, not sentiment. This is a direct, stinging rejection of the narrative that Kanu is a prisoner of conscience. The presidency is officially labeling him a Frankenstein that should not be resurrected. This statement is the hard power response to the soft power plea we saw yesterday. Part 2. The plea for mercy. The reps step in. Now, let's look at the other side of this boxing ring. Just yesterday, Monday, November 24, the Southeast Caucus of the House of Representatives, 44 lawmakers led by Idu Igariwe, held an emergency meeting. They didn't talk about war. They talked about Section 175 of the Constitution. This is the section that gives the president the power to grant a pardon. They are begging President Tinubu to use his presidential benevolence. They admitted that the court has ruled, but they argued that the political solution is the only way to stop the economic bleeding in the Southeast. They said Kanu's detention is fueling the agitation, not stopping it. So you have the lawmaker saying, please forgive him for the sake of peace. And you have the presidency via Nwabufo saying, if we forgive him, we are rewarding criminality. Part 3. The Sokoto reality and orji kalu's angle. While this word of words is happening in Abuja, the reality on the ground is that Nnamdi Kanu is sitting in Sokoto prison. Senator Aso Kalu also weighed in yesterday, and his take was very interesting. He blamed Kanu for the death of 30,000 Igbos. He told the people to stop making noise and get on their knees to beg. He claims he's working with the federal government for a solution, but he insists that Kanu's rhetoric caused real death. This split among Igbo leaders between those like Peter Obi, who called the conviction a failure of leadership, and those like Kalu, who blamed Kanu, is exactly what the presidency is exploiting. Related talk: justice versus peace. I want to engage you on this family. The presidency says nations thrive on law and order. They are right. If you break the law, you face the consequences. But the reps say peace is more important than legal technicalities. They are also right. Sometimes you have to swallow your pride to save the nation. The question is, can there be peace without justice? And can there be justice if the punishment destroys the peace? If Tinubu refuses to pardon Kanu and the Southeast remains locked down every Monday, who wins? But if he pardons him and other groups start taking up arms hoping for amnesty, who loses? Conclusion: the presidency has finally spoken and they have chosen the path of tough love. They are betting that the Southeast is tired of the violence and will eventually move on from Kanu, but with 44 lawmakers pushing back and the Sokoto factor creating sympathy, this story is far from over. What do you think? Do you agree with the presidency that we should stop romanticizing criminals, or do you support the reps' call for a pardon? Let me know in the comments.